Hello guys, welcome back to Mank Buses, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to this 1998 Dennis Dart. Starting to really look like a junkyard. Still need to get rid of all this wood flooring, that'll help. And there's a few other bits we need to get rid of. There's only this bit of wood flooring here, it's just off the shop that we need to keep because that is the one that goes in the very front, so that's a special size and shape. So today was going to originally sand all the chassis and do all that, but due to the grinder being a bit, well, not the grinder, but the battery for it being crap, been and bought some hammarite paint and just going to hammarite onto it, which will do its job basically. So I'm going to start off with that. I am waiting for a guy to come and sort out the bolts in the engine block. Until he comes, then we'll crack on with this. So I'm going to start off with where I've already red oxided. Obviously I need to sweep parts of it off. So in theory as well, this is being filmed in the heat wave, this should dry really quick. So I need to get off bits that have bubbled. I'll hammer and screwdriver for that. But other than that, should be in for a good look. I want to move you down there so you can actually see. So I've got bits like here where it's just bubbled. For this section there's no holes, so I get rid of the bits that are really bad. I mean really that bit doesn't matter too much at the moment because I'm not really planning on doing it today because there's areas, I think some petrol leaks out of that generator and it stinks. So all that's not bubbled there. Big bit there in that corner. That's all that off. That's the worst bit off. That bit here. Right, so this beam's okay up to here. It's still smooth with its paint on. Just make sure there's no. See the amount of force it's taking to actually get it off. Oh, there we go. Hammarite paint applied. So, and obviously we can't get under the beam there, so we just got to do as far as we can do. This beam has already been done. Boo!
Where are you?
In here! Sorry about that. That was some news about where this bus is actually stored. And it can't stay here, so the pressure is on to get it at least mobile again, which is good. And whenever I come up here, there's never any good news, it's always bad. Rarely is any good news. So if anyone would like to loan us the money for the injectors, about 100 quid, get in touch. It turns out we're going to need them quite soon. As you see, the thing is, I know it doesn't have any power steering pipes, so therefore it won't have any hydraulic for the cooling fan, but essentially, once that engine is running, it will build its air pressure up and it can be driven. Really all we're waiting for is them injectors for that engine. Obviously this guy now to come and actually drill them out, but some bolts and that's it. Then it can go back together and work in theory. Because the fact it has no flooring doesn't matter about moving it. As long as obviously all the wood and all this is stacked up at the back, safe, there's nothing to actually stop from being moved. Every single time stuff takes another turn, another interesting turn, doesn't it? Wouldn't be a day at the bus without it, I don't think. This tin of paint open. Probably won't look perfect, but be a damn sight improvement. So I'm going for like a semi-thick coat on it. I'm hoping, in a way, by the end of today, We might have all of this done. Minus one beam, but it still has a nail in it. It's just getting the chassis painted is a great step towards the finishing product, because we sort of can't do anything else with the engine now until them bolts have been moved, and then the head can go back on. Once the head's back on, we should be revving up to get it fired up. Then essentially, once it's fired up and running, we will be focusing on the interior. We just need to get it to fire up and run. So we like one of them, even if it runs like a bag of spanners, we know that engine is good. We know it works, so it's going to be something trivial. We'll be making it sound like a bag of spanners, or run like a bag of spanners. It's nearly this being done. I mean, it'd be much quicker if we had like a spray gun. I mean, a bigger brush would help. You can't see and I can barely see, so still like semi-covered in oil. The inside, I'll do my best of doing that at a slightly later date, just because the inside is full of stuff and we'll need something to get it all out with. Get like 99.9% of it covered, then we're in for a winner. Winner chicken dinner. I can't do stuff like to get that top plate back on, or the bag back on, until we've got air pressure. So to do that I need the bus to run. So it is just a case of doing what I can. I mean, a lot of the stuff for the engine we do have. So like oil, we have that. We've got ATF. The only thing we don't have is coolant, but coolant it can wait in a way, because it's not going out on the road straight away. So what we can do is, to move it, we can put water in and then drain the water out later. But at least it'd have something in it to allow it to cool. Because you say the information we've just been given that it's going to have to move. Well, it doesn't have to move far, so it just needs to move enough with the lack of cooling it's going to have. Because it's not going to have any oil in the cooling system, because the pipes are in bits, so we'd have no power steering either. But it's not a major thing not having power steering. The only bits I'm not going to be able to do from this angle is the underneaths. But we can do that when it's moving and we can get it up onto the blocks itself. That's looking quite good. Just do this bit here. I'm not sure we'll go, well, you wasted your time. Yeah, it might do, but it's not rotten. So at least if we've got a coat of paint on it, and I've knocked off the worst of it, you know, this paint is meant to go over rust, help with the rust. So, well, I must admit, it does look a lot better. Just got to remember that this is now wet and not to sit on it, because I am a bit stupid and I will sit on it at some point. If anything, with the angle grinders marked, it's actually harder to paint. On this end. Now that's that square done. Move over to this square now. Again, this is just angle iron, so there's no physical bottom to it. I'm absolutely sweating cobs. I have a bigger paintbrush. That'll be better. That'll speed the process up. Funny enough, where the red oxide has already been, it looks like it's going to need a second coat because the paint's smooth, but it doesn't want to latch on as well. It's not really a problem because obviously it's already had a coat of paint. And here you are on YouTube watching paint dry. I do thank you for your support in this paint drying exercise. Unfortunately, I've mentioned many times, this is really one of those jobs that needs doing and I've stuck doing it. That'll do there because we've got to get a bit of that wood off. Right, so that's that section done. Just need to do the bottom bit on this when it's dry because then I can perch myself. So we'll move up a little bit. Need to sweep this off first. This is I'm going to not do middle beam here just because there's still a nail in it. So, that's painting. It is like a pissing oven on here. It is really hot. So the windows have been shut. So, although it's less of a greenhouse because it doesn't have a floor in, it's still like a greenhouse. Well, that's up to the 50% mark. And I can't kneel on the floor because the floor's full of crap. And this smart ass, because it's hot, chose to wear shorts. I've got nothing to actually protect my knees. You know what I mean? It looks a much better finish on where red oxide hasn't been. Where red oxide has been. I've got a lot of painting to do. Not only here, I've got painting to do at home and all. My Mac Buses Goes Miniature channel has got some stuff on there I need to do. I'll probably post an update about that. I know some of you like to watch that. It's not by any means everyone's favourite though. Some progress being made. There is some sections that will have to be revisited, but even if it doesn't get revisited, the chassis will still be in a much better condition than it was before I started. That is all that really matters. See, this inside bit hasn't even been sanded or anything like that. It's just not got anything on it. This is like, it's one of them jobs that could have waited, but the weather being nice, so I'm admitting it. And there's nothing worse than trying to paint outside in cold weather. Mainly because the paint just never dries. Well, it takes like 4 years for it to dry. Right, there's a bit inside there that needs taking off. For now, it'll be alright. Let me do this one. Where we are going to have to come back to it because it's got about a screw, nail, whatever there. So that will need angle grinding out. So what I'm going to do is do that. Painting wise, that's about as far as I can get them on I need to cut, there's some screws in that beam. This beam's still covered by crap. But the centre section's done, we just need to do the bits down there. But I've got a bit of an headache. The heat is not helping, so I ain't bending down to do that. Doing this was enough. So we've got under there to do, the outrigs, there, the two just beside the camera there need to be repaired, so they're not being done. That beam, this outrig here, which also has a screw in it still, they are looking a lot better. We do need to get rid of some of this junk, because it's ridiculous, the amount of junk we've got, and things will start looking a little bit better for us. So I think we're going to have to look at tipping that and taking it to the tip ourselves. Maybe jigsawing it up into bits so we'll go in the car and running it over to the tip. I'm going to have 5 minutes.
You can now find us on Facebook, YouTube, Patreon, Twitter and Instagram.
Hashtag MankBosses. Find us at mankbosses.com. MankBosses, we're sorting scrap.